Good morning, traders. So let's get cracking with the DAX. Okay, so the DAX is still, I was going to say something that YouTube wouldn't be approval, but anyway, the DAX is really going nowhere, pretty much going sideways. And this level here seems to be the level that is causing us the frustration right now. So I'm just going to generalize because there's a lot of tails here. So if you draw a line on every tail, you'll get the picture. There's a very strong area of resistance here. Now, I am concerned with this grouping of the oscillators because normally when that happens, we're going to move to the downside. The groupings are not quite in an area that I would expect downside to happen. I would expect it to be higher up than this. But we do still have the diversions, and this is the continuation diversion. So price is making a new low, but the oscillator is making a new high. So that always indicates a continuation of the trend, and the trend is, from a weekly perspective, is down. Okay. And can we just... Okay, so yeah, we've also had this channel break here. We just do that. So we had this rising channel and we broke through, and are we busy with a retest of the channel? It's a question. Okay, let's get down to the daily. You know, often what I find is when you see setups and you're trading with a trend and you're just not getting anywhere. We're going along because the trend is up, and you keep going along, but your reward is very limited, and it keeps you keep either getting trailed out or it doesn't get any traction. This is normally an indication to me that I may be on the wrong side of it. Okay, so typically you're still making profit, but it gets increasingly difficult to make profit. And you always need to just stop and evaluate what is actually going on, and am I on the right side of this, or do I need to start looking in the opposite direction? Okay, so from a oscillator perspective, we're pretty much nowhere. Okay, but I'm just tightening up this level. You can see there's the previous swing lows. We've tested again. Okay, and then yesterday was pretty much a nothing day. Okay, I'm just going to delete these so they don't distract us. And this kind of doji in between Dickinson and Kijinson, so Dickinson blue, Kijinson red, is pretty much it's actually textbook there. When I say when price is in between Kijinson and Dickinson, we are going nowhere. Okay, so it is sideways motion, nothing else, and that's exactly what's happening here. And you can see how flat the cloud is as well. So what you're looking for in a decent, strong trend is something like this. Okay, even when they went apart here and then broke to the upside and then immediately started pointing to the upside. But you can see our price is using Dickinson as support all the way up. Okay, so we did get a grouping, not a nice grouping, but we did get a grouping here. So which indicated a sell-off, and we could be busy with a sell-off. So what do I mean by that? Basically what I'm saying is here's the next level, which is the top of these bars here. You see how it coincides with the 200 EMA. So what could be happening is we move to the downside, we consolidate, and then we break to the downside and we move into this zone here. Okay, so that would be the measured move for this on the daily. So in other words, from the high to the low, and then from that high, and we'll form a low down here. Okay, so that's kind of the Ichimoku wave theory as well. Measured move, doesn't matter how you want to put it, but that's typical of how price action functions. But obviously for this to play out, we need to break below pretty much all three of these lows here. Okay, so let's just get rid of that because that's not going to play out in one day, if it plays out at all. So for now, on the 4-hour, we are in a range. Okay, so let's just ignore what's happened on the left. Let's just focus on the previous 3 days. We are in a range. We have a grouping of the oscillators at the top of a range. We've had 3 touches here, pretty much, not really a touch, but we have formed a lower low. So we are flat, we're in a range. Ichimoku is not going to help us at this stage. There's nothing in Ichimoku that's going to tell us which direction we're going. Okay, so you need to focus on price action. And the reason why I say that is because we're going either side of the cloud. So if you want to take a trade, every time you break out the cloud, you're going to be trading from the top of the range. Okay, so that's why it's very important to draw your lines in and make sure you understand the price action of what's going on. So we are in a range. There's no two ways about that. There's nothing in Ichimoku that can help us. So what should we be doing? We should be looking for shorts from the top of the range and looking for longs from the bottom of the range until this range breaks. Let's get down to the 1 hour, sorry. Okay, so now the 1 hour, you can see the range is a lot bigger. We've got this big range, but then we've got little ranges inside the big range. And now the hour and the lower time frames, Ichimoku will kind of help you. Now, have a look here. So there we had a grouping. Here we haven't quite had a grouping, but we've had a crossover. Okay, so we had a crossover on the US session last night to the downside. Ichimoku, you can see how Kijinsen and Tegensen the last 2 days has just been crossing over each other, not really helping us. Ichiko has come into price, which is not very positive. This is still flat, moving closer together, but flat. But there is indications here that these little ranges, so this was, sorry, that, we want that. So this was a range of the day before. Okay, we did break to the bottom and we hit the range break target. So the range break target would have been the height of this. I'm not even going to bother drawing it in because, let me draw it in. Because you can eyeball it. You pretty much hit that target. But if I look to the left, you can see there was a Brooks gap here. There's a Brooks gap. So yesterday's trade, you could have been watching price action on the lower time frames at this level. And we can go and have a look at that in actual fact. Do it on the 6. Okay, and there was the level there. Okay, you can see how the oscillators crossed over, and we've got a rejection bar off that level, and this was the Brooks gap. Okay, so this was the Brooks gap here. Okay, so that Brooks gap there. Brooks gaps always get challenged. Whether you like it or not, they always get challenged. And you can see how it was challenged there, and the buyers were just waiting for that move. So if you had placed your long there, you would have got a beautiful rejection bar on the hour. Then you would have got a confirmation bar, and you could have waited. You got a break of this range, and then you could have waited for the range break target at the top, which was there. Okay, so now what's happened is we kind of closed back in this range. So I reckon we're probably going to sell off yet again, and I think we'll just go down to lower time frame. Okay, so now what you can see on the 12-minute, you can see a little bit more clarity from a Ichimoku perspective. So we have had a bearish crossover there. Okay, we broke through price. Chico Spain has broken through price, and we pretty much have got a twist underway. So on the lower time frames, there is a good indication that we're going to move into the downside. Now, what we don't know at this stage is whether we're just going to find support at this level here, or whether we are going to continue to the downside. So I mean, that's the only thing that we need to figure out at this stage. So if it's going to be more of the same, then basically we're looking at these 40-point targets. In other words, you're looking to take profit at this level, wait, see what happens. This level breaks, then get in, or or just trade these mini levels. So if we just drill back out to the 4-hour, the 4-hour is indicating that we do have a pretty big range. So I'd be inclined to believe that take a short at the top here, but maybe when you take profit on half of it, leave half of it in play. Just on the basically what you're trying to look for is a retest of the bottom of the range here on the 4-hour. Okay, so that'll give you a fairly decent swing trade of 300, almost 300 points. Okay, so that's kind of the way I'm going to play this today. So we'll wait for the open, see what happens. But all indications at this stage is that we're probably going to at least come back and test the bottom of this range, which would basically just mean that we are widening the range. Okay, so that would be first and foremost, and you can see how the 200 EMA on that 1 hour has been holding up price. Okay, pretty much 2 days now that it's been flirted with. So yeah, so I think long from the bottom here, short from the top. We are range bound, trade the range for now until we get some clarity of what's going to happen. And lastly, let's just get back onto the 12 minutes and just have a look here, because this could be the range as well. Okay. Now the interesting thing is Euro USD, which is pretty key to this. Excuse these colors. I'll do a video on this later on. But so if the dollar does strengthen, then we're going to have a weaker euro, which is going to be good for the DAX. Okay, so this is a pretty critical aspect here. If we get a stronger euro, then we're going to get the DAX falling. And you can see there's a lot of indecision on the euro at the moment, which is collating to what's going on in the DAX. Okay, so anyway, guys, so that's kind of my play. Looking for shorts from the top of the range, and we'll look for longs from the bottom of the range. And that's pretty much how we're going to be playing this. Probably 40, 50 pip targets at a time. Unless something drastic happens today, which would be nice if we can just get some traction. Anyway, guys, I hope it helps. Stay safe, keep those stops tight, and enjoy the day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers, man.